Did you know that when you hire a virtual assistant that you can save up to 70% on your operating costs in your business? Whether you're an entrepreneur, a business owner, a realtor, a mortgage broker, a small business, a brick and mortar company, an e-commerce site, you can save over 70% of your operational costs. And that's a lot of money that you can be putting towards other critical business costs. Today, I'm going to go through the 13 things or obstacles, as I would call them, 13 obstacles that I see, that we see in our company of business owners and entrepreneurs making these 13 mistakes. These are the obstacles that keep them from being a success and being able to grow and scale their company by outsourcing to virtual assistants. Make sure that you watch all the way to the end, because number 13 is the most important one. This will change your life if you wait until number 13 on being able to learn how to onboard correctly in your business. The number one thing is a lack of clear goals and objectives. What happens is, yes, you're busy, you know what you need to delegate, but you don't have any clear goals at the end of that. So you've got this list of stuff in front of you, right? You've got all these things, just lists, pages and pages of lists of things that you're trying to get done every day in your business, or that you are having a hard time keeping people employed to take care of these things because they get sick, they don't come to work, they're on Facebook instead of doing your tasks. There's all kinds of these things going on in your business that you're dealing with. The problem with not having clear and objective goals is that when the VAs start doing your tasks, they can only do so much without your permission, okay? And that's one of the biggest holdups, I think, in proper engineering of your goals. We need to know what your goals are. When you're doing your onboarding call with our COO, and then you're meeting with our project manager over Trello, they're trying to figure out what those goals are and trying to help assist you in that. But you need to know at the end of the day what those goals are so you can communicate those correctly to the team. So that's the number one. Number two is an insufficient budget. Now, a lot of people, when they onboard, they expect to get 40 hours of work done in 10 hours. So 40 hours a week of work done in 10 hours a week. And that's just not realistic at all. So you have to really get realistic about those expectations of how much your budget should be. Now, most VA companies that you go to, you're going to have to hire somebody full-time, and maybe you'll get away with 20 hours a week part-time. With our company, you get to onboard for 10 hours a week, and you can also do per projects and a la carte services. So there are a lot of ways that you can save on a small budget, but you have to be realistic about what that budget should be. Let's just say you want social media tasks done. So you come to us and you want Facebook, you want Facebook postings, you want Facebook graphics, you want a Facebook group started, you want a community page that's going on, you want LinkedIn, you want your Instagram account going, and you want TikTok videos, and you want Reels, and you want Twitter. And so you give this huge list, and then you say, oh, I want you to get that all done in 10 hours a week. It's not possible. Now, with AI, we can do it a little bit faster, but you have to be really good at prompt engineering, which we are. But if you're not good at prompt engineering and you're not good at understanding that whole concept, the output's probably not going to be exactly how you like it. The other thing is that you need to take the time that you have in your budget and just scale it down to what is the most important. What are the most important things that you need to get done? And let's just start there. Because Facebook alone, I have a secretary who goes in for 30 minutes a day to like, comment, etc. on my personal page. And then she does all the happy birthdays. I'm at my limit at 5,000 friends on Facebook, and I have 6,400 followers. That's a lot of birthdays to cover. We try to get to them all. We try not to miss any of them. And then she does my job. And then I go in 5 minutes here, 5 minutes there to total 30 minutes a day of liking, commenting, and communicating with my followers. And then she goes in again in the afternoon and does another 30 minutes of that. Then she does my postings. And on my personal Facebook page, since I'm a digital creator on there, I'm doing 4 posts a day, which has been it's what Gary Vee told us to do. Somebody asked him, how many times should I post on Twitter, on LinkedIn, on, all of these platforms. And he said on Facebook and TikTok, you should be doing 4 times a day, and Instagram. I'm working on the 4 times a day for my personal page because that's where all my followers are. Now on my business page, I'm not doing 4 times a day yet because I don't have that as many followers as I want to be able to do that. She then goes in and handles my business page. And then she goes in and handles our group page. Our group is great. You need to join our group, by the way. Let's just say that's 2 hours a day before posting, okay? Right there, that's 10 hours a week if you're doing 5 days. Keep in mind the time that it takes to do all those things. The other thing that happens is you think that they can do it as fast as you can, and the team can never do it as fast as you can for many different reasons, which we'll go over in another objection, another sabotaging thing that people do when they're onboarding to a VA. Number 3, resistance to change and new ideas. This is huge because we are on top of all of the things on best practices. So when you come, you're getting a virtual assistant team in our company that knows what they're doing. You don't have to direct them that much. The biggest problem with resistance to change and new ideas is that you might be stuck in some old ways, social media wise. And in 2023, everything is changing. Okay. And so with ChatGPT coming out in November 2022, I don't know when you're going to be watching this video, but that changed the landscape. SEO, Google had a ton of updates in 2022, and they had another one in 2023 on Valentine's Day. We might as well call it the Valentine's Day Massacre because it destroyed a lot of people's SEO on their websites. So there's a lot of things going on, and you want to make sure that your virtual assistants are certified, trained, and they understand what they're doing. And that's what you get with our team, is that all of our social media managers are certified. We're certified. We have certifications that they go through. We are a digital marketer company, and we're a certified partner with Digital Marketer. So we have access to the best trainings available to stay on top of all the current best practices and SOPs. The next one, number 4, is limited media being given to us. Oh my gosh, this will sabotage you. This might have been number 13, but number 13 is still more important. This is so important because there's a lot of content we can make for you. We can do faceless videos even, but I don't always recommend that, because when you're just doing faceless videos, humans connect with humans. So it depends on the niche you're in. If you're in a niche that needs high trust or high value or expertise, you will have to figure out a way to show your face. That's all there is to it. If you're in a niche that's 1,000 memes a day, things like the best SEO tips and stuff like that, you could probably get away with not having your face shown and do what we call faceless videos, which we do a lot of those. If you're a realtor and you have listings, you can do faceless videos for your listings. That's fine for your open houses, things like that. But there's some things where you just need to show your face. Now, you don't have to do a lot, but you need to send us images. We need videos of you. We need your logo. You need to send your VA all of your any kind of assets that you have. Video testimonials, huge. Photos of your clients who are giving you testimonials. We need all of those, because that's the number one way to be successful online today, is by having other people talk about you, not you talk about yourself, right? Those are very important things. The other thing that we get a lot is we get copyrighted images, and you cannot do that. Our VAs know, and they'll look at the images and they'll send our COO a message saying, I'm not sure that these photos that we're getting from the client are their own. We think they might just be from the internet. Just remember the rules of that to help you when you're onboarding to a VA. A lot of VAs don't know this information. They're just going to go with what you tell them to do because they're just order takers. And that's not the way that we work in our company, because we want to help you be successful, and getting a $10,000 or $25,000 fine for putting a Getty image on your website is not going to make you successful. Just remember the rules of the internet and make sure you're playing fair. Number 1, you never take an image from the internet, from somebody else's website, and put it on yours. You can't do that. All right. And you also can't take stock images from companies that do not give you the license to use them commercially. If you're in business and it's not a charity, it's not a PTA meeting, many stock image companies make you follow certain rules if you want to use one of their images for your commercial use. Okay. So those are important things. We need to get media from you. Number 5 is expecting immediate results. Wow. This is another huge one. We get a lot of people that in 2 weeks, they ordered SEO from us. And I've told them it's going to take a long time. SEO, organic search, is the long game. Okay. And a lot of people will come back in just a month and say, what's my results? Am I on page 1? No, you're not. First of all, it takes 2 weeks just to get things all going and rolling and everything. And it's the same thing with Google business profile pages. A lot of people think that Google's going to put them right on top of the map right away. And that doesn't happen that way. So you need to understand the processes and that don't expect immediate results. And a lot of times your virtual assistants need to learn from you how you work, and you need to learn from them. And then you guys need to learn how to work together. And this is one of the things that you got to have patience. People with not a lot of patience, I would highly suggest you to delegate the job of delegating to somebody who does have that patience in your company. Number 6 is difficulty creating and executing a content strategy. A lot of times you're just sending us stuff, say, oh, I want to post on Facebook. I want to do LinkedIn. I want to do my website. I want to write these blog posts, and they'll give us a bunch of titles that mean nothing, because we know from our experience and being experts in SEO and content management, content creation, and all of that kind of stuff, we know what works and what doesn't work. And we know what the best practices are. And we have really good SOPs on all of this. But when the client, when you send us stuff and you don't have consistency in that, let's say you're doing makeup and you have a makeup product you just created and you're doing e-commerce, and you say to us, I want to build an audience on a Facebook group. And then we start working on that. And then all of a sudden you go, I want you to go do TikTok and spend all your time on TikToks. When you're flying around like that, being very inconsistent like that, you're not going to have success on any of those platforms. Make sure that you understand that you need to have a process. Number 7, privacy and data concerns. A lot of people, when they hire a VA, they get concerned about their passwords. Now, I've been working with my team. I hire them. We do background checks on everybody. And before we hire people, we also make sure that they're trustworthy and everything. So can people get hacked? Of course. If you're extremely concerned about password protection, I suggest that you get something like LastPass, and then you just give that, allow the certain IPs or whatever. And our COO will let you know like when you can do that and when you can't. You have to be careful if you're hiring virtual assistants in the Philippines, where a lot of really good assistants are, and that's where our VAs are, is that in the Philippines, they don't get a specific IP address like we do here in the United States. And I believe Europe is the same. We get one IP address and everything that we do is from that IP address. In the Philippines, their IP addresses change. They're fluid. So they can change day to day, week to week, because that's how their companies keep everything more secure over there. But I have never had an issue with giving my passwords to our VAs, and I haven't had any clients we haven't had any clients who've had issues with that at all. The verification process, yeah, sometimes that can be a pain in the rear. And like I said, you could use LastPass for a lot of the things, but there's going to be some things where LastPass won't be able to be used. For instance, on your Google profile page, you can also add the company as a manager to your profile. And then that would be another way that you can keep your Google properties safe if you're concerned about that. Okay. Number 8 is resistance to using management tools. In our company, we use Trello, and we get clients who are very resistant to using Trello. But every company needs to have a strategy of project management so that we can have fluid workflows and be able to check on all the work the VAs are doing and sign them off on it so that they can get clear for their paychecks. A lot of companies use Slack. People use there's different products out there. With some of our companies, we are able to integrate Trello with their systems, but don't expect that to be the case for everybody and for your particular situation. Internally, we have to use Trello. That is our management system, and it would be very unorganized for our company to be mixed up in many different management systems. So that's one thing, whatever VA you are hiring, you want to make sure that they understand your management system, you understand it, and that you can both work together in it. The next one, number 9, lack of clear instructions. This is huge too. So it goes along with not having proper goals. It goes along with difficulty creating expectations, things like that. But lack of clear instructions is when you tell your VA to do something, or the team to do something, and you give those directives to our COO, who then gives them to our project manager, and she's the one who dishes them out, hands them out, and delegates to the different people that are qualified to do that particular task for you. When you're not clear on your instructions, that can cause problems, and you're just going to get upset. You have no right to get upset at a VA and get mad at a VA for doing something that they thought was best for you when you never even gave them instructions on how to do it. Let's cut them some slack and let's be nice and fair and understand that a lot of times when things go wrong, it's our fault, not the other person's fault. Number 10, delays in getting the necessary approvals for task completion. Now, all of these ones that I'm going through with you today, they're all ones that, since I've owned the company since 2016, these are the ones that we see over and over again. And I had a meeting with our COO and our project manager and our HR manager, and I asked them, what are the things that you see where clients are held up in being able to onboard properly? And this is a list that they came up with for me. And I really agree with most of these things, all of the things on the list. I could probably add a few more, but I think 13 is pretty good. One of the things is we have a lot of clients who want to approve everything we do before it's published. So they want to approve the blog articles, they want to approve the posts on Facebook, they want to approve the videos on YouTube, and so on and so forth. And that's understandable. And you certainly have that right to do that. But if you're going to want that, okay, then you have to play your part in that. And that's one of the problems we get where we get to that. We're going to get to number 13. So wait for number 13 and I'll clue you in on that and how we can, change that around with how you're going to work with the VAs. When you are expecting that from the team, then when they send that to you, you need to be quick in approving, making edits, training, learning, because we're learning your voice. They're learning your voice, your style, your avatar, your audience. They're learning all this along with you. And you're learning it too, because you're never going to know it well enough to say that you have done it all. As that process is going on, you need to be very good at communicating, going into Trello and saying, yeah, that's spot on. That's exactly how I want you to talk to pet owners. That's exactly how I want you to talk to my sellers if I'm a realtor. That's the voice I want. Don't just say, oh, that's good, or that passes, or that's excellent. Explain why. Because the more that you communicate about the tone and the voice, style, and all that, the more the VA that's doing that for you is going to be able to incorporate that into her writing and graphics and design. Okay. So that's very important. If you just can't do that, and you are just like one of those people that's, I don't have time, I don't have anybody to do that for me, then you need to give permission for your content to be produced. And then if you see a mistake later on, don't get upset about it. We can always edit it. And that's another beauty of it. There's nothing that just can't be gone in and edited really quickly, except for TikTok videos and Twitter too. The time someone's going to see it to when they'll never see it again it's a really short time frame. So I'm not super concerned about things like that. I'm not concerned about reels and stories and things like that. But your regular posts on Instagram, your posts on Facebook, easily, LinkedIn, easily we can go in and edit the content, change out graphics. It's not going to hurt anyone. It's not going to ruin your reputation, things like that. All of the VAs, they go through Grammarly and we check everything is checked and things like that. But mistakes happen, and they would happen with anyone. Even when you do it yourself, you're going to make some mistakes. Number 11 is having unrealistic expectations of the task benchmarks. So this is one thing I see a lot with, especially with social media. If I'm on my computer working, let's say I am communicating with a client, I'm texting, I'm like multitasking, right? I'm writing a blog post, I'm doing a script for a video, and I'm doing all these many things. And then my Facebook tab's open and I jump onto Facebook. I'm already on my Facebook and I see something to share. I think of something to post real quick outside of what we're already doing, because those are pre-done. I do those ahead of time each week for my VA. She and I work together on which 4 posts a day we're going to be putting out there. But things happen in life that I might want to post right away. So for me to go in and do that post is very quick. I already have it open. So a lot of people will say, gee, it only takes me a couple minutes to do a Facebook post. And that's true, because it's you're already on your Facebook page or on a phone or whatever it is. A VA has to log into your account. So sometimes they're waiting for verification and they have to get paid for that time that they're logging in. And then they have to log back out in order to go on to a next customer, right? A next client. There's things that happen that take longer because it is outsourced. And that's normal and to be expected. Be very aware of what benchmarks should be. If you have any questions about benchmarks, a lot of times I'll do the task myself and I'll like times 3 and know That's what someone else is a lot slower than I am because I know how fast I am. So if I'm super, super fast and I multiply by 3, I might get a correct benchmark for what my virtual assistant can do. Okay. And if not, our COO will always meet with you and help you do that discovery of what proper benchmarks should be. Number 12, disjointed communication. This is something we'll get a lot of times when you're trying to onboard, you're sending emails, posting in Trello, texting, calling, like you're doing all these things. And that's what we consider very disjointed communication. If you need to speak to the COO for onboarding, then you schedule a call, you schedule an appointment, you make that appointment a phone call, and she will go over all of the onboarding things that maybe we're still missing, what we need. But one of the biggest delays that we see in onboarding is the proper uploading of the things, documents we need, your logos, your images, your passwords, your logins, like all of these things that we need to get started. That's where I see the biggest disjointed communication. And it's the one that I get most complaints about from our Trello board manager because she's in charge of that. So we get on her case and she's, but I sent them 10 emails. And so, yeah, I said, well, then maybe you have to pick up the phone and call them or something, but then we don't want to bother you because you're busy. This kind of thing goes back and forth. Just make it a plan to have all of your stuff in one place. I like to use notes on my Mac computer, and I just open up my notes, and everything that someone would need, I have it all in there. So you could do something like that, and that would help you. Now, we're on number 13, the most important and the biggest obstacle. It's called perfectionism. You need to understand this because this obstacle will slow your company down. You won't be able to scale. You won't be able to grow, which means you won't make money, which means you won't have time freedom, which means you're going to be stuck in the grind day after day, hour after hour, week after week, and never get time off. So and you'll have a failure to launch. So we get a lot of clients who are just launching a new company, a new product, a new service, and they never take that final launch step. So they get everything in order. Everything has to be so perfect. Guess what? It never is perfect. Whether you do it yourself or the virtual assistants do it for you, or you hire people in your office, in your company to do it, it will never be perfect. And the more that you try to achieve that, the more you're going to fail. And it's just the way it is. So I like to use this saying. It says, perfection is the enemy of success. If you're a perfectionist, you need to write that down and hang it up on your mirror in your bathroom. And then underneath that, you need to write something positive. So underneath that, you're going to write, good is good enough. Good is what builds companies and moves them forward. And once you're making that money, once you've got everything rolling, once you have everything where you want it to be in your scaling, then you go back and you start tweaking things to make them better. I'm going to give you a perfect example right now. I used to do a lot of videos. I have tons of videos that I've done. YouTube shut down my account in October of 2022. And I got gun shy. I got shy of ever starting another YouTube channel because I had a lot. I had over 1,000 subscribers. I had the watch time. I had a monetized channel. I didn't do anything wrong. I didn't break the terms of service, I promise. No matter how many times I try to request for the suspension to be lifted, I don't get it lifted. It's just robots. The AI is just doing that. It's a program that's doing it. There's no humans looking at this information. I was really gun shy. The next problem was I bought a home. It's a total fixer-upper. And I bought it in 2021, and I haven't made a video except for about the renovations. I've been doing a lot of videos of before and afters and things like that, but I haven't done any of my business videos because I have no place to do them. So right now I'm in a basement family room that is not being renovated. So the walls at least aren't torn down. My entire upstairs is down to the studs. And I surveyed all my fans and followers, and they all said, we don't care. Do it in front of the studs. Do it wherever you want. And I wanted to make it more evergreen. So I do have my dream board behind me, which I put here, trying to cover up the ugliness of this room. I do have my camera lights and things like that. You'll see the little butterflies and flowers up on the wall. And that's because There's two ugly black, I don't know, nails that I can't even seem to get out of the wall sticking out right there. So I covered them up with that just so that's not such an ugly distraction. But I'm filming so I can see myself behind there and it's still a distraction. But that's just life. And I have to say, good is good enough. My video production room does not have to be perfect. I don't have to be perfect. I just know I need to get the work done because this is stuff that you need to hear and businesses need to learn how to onboard and get ready to take their companies to the next level. What I wanted to leave you with is I wanted to let you know that don't forget, first of all, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. When you like a video, YouTube will show it to more people. When you subscribe, YouTube will show it to more people. And when you set your notifications, you will get notified of the new videos that I do each time I publish a video, which I love that. I love to subscribe to YouTubers that I listen to all the time. And if you check the description below, you'll see a link. You can download our 365 tasks that you can assign to a VA today. So it's a PDF download. It's free. We will collect your email address and you will receive a weekly email about important things that are going on in the new trends, in how to do tasks with the VAs, how to hire, all of those types of things, as well as SEO and social media and Chat GPT. We're doing a lot of prompt engineering. So all of those things will be in that. Whatever's going on will be in your email once a week so you can stay on top of everything so that you can reassign things to the VAs. A lot of times you don't know what else the VAs can do. And so it's nice for me to be able to send you something that explains, hey, we just learned this skill. We've tested it. It's working really well. You can now hire the VAs to do this for you. When you get the download, then just make sure you go through that list and leave me a comment below as well. And I'd love to hear from you. So just let me know if you have had any obstacles in onboarding a VA, and I'd love to help answer that and help you through that. And till the next video, have a good day.